So as anyone who's watched any of my previous videos may know, I love big combos and OTKs. If you haven't seen any of them, please click here. Thanks. Anyway, so I love combos and OTKs and all sorts of ridiculous, crazy plays and decks, and that's what I really enjoy. So when Gen-like Lady Lapis Lazuli came out in Secrets of Eternity, I was thrilled. Not only because she ups the OTK ante by her burn effect, which can get ridiculous sometimes. I've had up to 2,500 burn on occasion, but also her interaction with Lazuli to recycle your normal monsters and extend your plays even further and make massive OTK fields is just incredible. But the deck was still pretty inconsistent because obviously you needed the fusion and you needed the right materials in your hand before you could OTK. And then in Cross Souls we got a rather unexpected support in the form of an Unexpected Guy and Fusion Conscription. Now an Unexpected Guy is like a hero lives for normal monsters, so while you control normal monsters you can special summon one level 4 or lower normal monster from your deck. So that's any of the gem-like normal monsters except Crystal. And Fusion Conscription is like a rotor for the normal gem-lights because you can reveal one fusion monster in your extra deck and add one listed material from your deck to your hand, but you cannot normal summon, set or special summon that turn, and you cannot activate its effect, but because they're normal monsters that doesn't really matter, the second part. So basically you can toolbox any of the normal monsters to get any of the types that you need for the fusions or any of the specific fusion materials. So it makes your toolboxing a lot easier and it gives the deck a lot more consistency. So after the new support came on DN, I came with a new deck for it to see if I can enjoy the OTK plays today. Now I have tried it previously to Cross Souls and I loved it. But the OTKs you can get in here are just so various. Like these ones are just like, you know, you get like massive fields of massive monsters and then you get burn damage on top of that, and you can just see how many different ways there are to OTK. Anyway, enough of that, on with the deck profile. So first up we got 3 Gem-like Garnet, 1900 beta, normal monster, Pyro, 4 Citrine. That's all well and good. Gem-like Lapis, level 3, normal, rock for Zirconian. It's the required material for Lapis Lazuli, so necessary at 3 to get it as quickly as possible because she's important for your OTKs. 2 Tourmaline, 1600 Thunder, secondary rabbit target 2 Garnet really. 1 Gem-like Sapphire in case you want to make Aquamarine or Amethyst. 3 Lazuli, very important card. Probably the card that gets burnt most quickly in the whole deck. So important, give you so much advantage and extend your plays for a long time. Gem-like Obsidian, another important card. When it's sent to the graveyard from the hand, you get to special summon a normal monster from your graveyard. Level 4 or lower normal monster from your graveyard. So good for extending plays as well. Excellent card. 3 Gem Armadillos, like a Stratos. You normal summon it, you add 1 Gem-like monster from your deck to your hand. 1 Rescue Rabbit. Normally you'd go Rescue Rabbit into 2 Garnet or 2 Tourmalines into Lavalval Chain. Detach one from Lavalval Chain, send Fusion to the graveyard if you don't have it in your hand already. And Lazuli if you do, so it just gets you an extra special summon monster on the board. Or you could not fusion summon, you can not exceed summon, you can just use the materials you get as fusion materials. Then 3 Gem-like Fusion, amazing cards, basically Sinister Serpent in a spell card form, except you have to banish a Gem-like every time you want to retrieve from your graveyard, but the speed at which the deck gets Gem-lights to the graveyard is so good that it doesn't really cause a problem. Absorb Fusion is currently OCG exclusive even after Cross Souls unless we get it as an import, but I thought I'd include it anyway because it's a rote for every Gem-like card, so you can search Fusion, you can search any of the monsters, but you can only special summon Gem-lights that turn, and you can also use it as a fusion itself, but I didn't do that because it banishes the materials, which is no good. Then 3 MST to clear out back row, 3 Unexpected Guy because it's just so good. You can even combo it with, like, you can special summon a Garnet, normal summon an Armadillo, search an Obsidian. If you don't have a fusion in hand, you can overlay for Lavalval Chain, detach Garnet, send fusion, banish Garnet, add fusion. Just so good at starting off plays. Or you can toolbox something you need, like a Lapis or for a Lapis Lazuli or whatever you need basically. Then 3 Fusion Conscription for consistency, for extra consistency, just a nice searcher. 3 Phoenix Wing Windblast, even though this is an OTK deck, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have some plays should your OTK fail. Good discard targets include Obsidian, because you can special summon a monster if it's sent from hand to the graveyard, or Fusion because you can just banish a Gem-like from your graveyard and add it back. A Solemn Warning, Bottomless, Compulse because staple traps in case your OTK doesn't go off. Then 2 Gem-like Lapis Lazuli, awesome card. Send 1 Gem-like from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard to inflict 500 damage for every special summon monster on the field, so you can get Normally I get around 1500 burn from it, which is an amazing amount, and if you send a Lazuli, as I said, you get to add a normal monster, normally Lapis, because Lapis is a required material, and you normally have that in the graveyard. 1 Prism Aura for field clearance, discard 1 Gemlight, well, send 1 Gemlight card from your hand to your graveyard to destroy 1 face-up card on the field. Normally you send Fusion, just keep cycling through the Fusion. 1 Citrine to stop anything. It's basically like an Armides. Your opponent can't activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step if it attacks. 200 attacks, so it's alright. It's usually what that Gemlights used to be focused around because of Volcanic Shell being a good pyro target. 1 Gemlight Ruby, it's there, so I have something to reveal for Fusion Conscription to add Garnet. It's not a very good card because its effect's quite minus. It does do piercing, which is nice. It is 500 beta. Normally I summon this if I'm trying to get over something like a Leo, which can't be targeted by Prism Aura or something like that. So sometimes useful, but it's just basically there for Fusion Conscription. Topaz is there for a Fusion Conscription reveal for Tourmaline. Can be game ending. 2 attacks of 1800 apiece and burn damage from when it does attack. It's pretty nice. So sometimes I summon it, and it is very useful then. Gemlight Amethyst, sometimes useful to clear the back row if you send it from the field to the graveyard, so if you fusion with it. So you fusion for Amethyst, fusion again for something else, clear out all the back row, all the set back row, and then you can just continue to OTK without problems normally. Or that are a bit out back row normally. 1 Aquamarine, when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can bounce a card your opponent controls. Good for clearing set monsters, don't really go into it at all. Mainly there to get Sapphire with Fusion Conscription if I need to. 1 Zirconia, nice big beater, 900 attacks, quite good, and it's useful if you can go into. It gets rid of an Armadillo basically into a nice beefy beater. Master Diamond used to be quite costly because it takes 3 Gemlights to summon it, but it's 3 landing Gemlight. Normally use it for game ending damage with Lapis Lazuli, so I attack 4 however much, and normally if there's like 500 damage left I can just fusion into Master Diamond, copy Lapis Lazuli's effect from graveyard and send another monster for 500 burn, which is good. 1 Lavalval Chain, best Xyz in the deck, sets up your fusion plays, gives her a lot more consistency with Rabbit and stuff. An unexpected guy now, it gives you a lot more consistency, you're more likely to get a fusion first turn and then just be able to go off from there. 1 Diguster Emerald, might cut that out, probably will cut that out because doesn't really have much use, but it's good. It can retrieve your normal monsters if you need it to, or even a Zirconia. I'll probably cut that for a Gaga Cowboy though. Castile for field clearance if I need it. Exoton for a field nuke if I need it. Levier because a lot of Gemlights get banished very quickly and it's useful for extending plays. It's also Aqua for Amethyst, so I can fuse with it if I need to, and it's just a generally good card, and it makes use of Lapis being a level 3 as well. So yeah, this is the deck. If you would like me to upload any OTK combos or any replays, then please let me know in the comments below, and I hope you enjoy this video guys, and if you did, please like, favourite, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you later.